water, probably a good idea. Thank you.
So actually, I want to start.
Yeah.
Because I have questions for you.
Start. I will answer questions. They may not be correct or accurate, but I will answer them.
I'm sure you want to answer this question. When is Spider-Man coming out?
Why would I know about such a thing? That is interesting. You know, I'm looking forward to playing that game as much as anybody. It looks really good. So I have no idea.
Any scoops you can give us about the game?
I know as much as you about the game. Is all I can really say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to get some scoops because I'm so looking forward to it.
I totally understand it. It looks great. It looks great from the stuff that I've seen. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna let these two go.
Okay. Yes.
So if I had to extend Mount Rushmore to like 8 or 10 guys for DC animation and voiceovers, I'd say you'd make it on there.
Oh my God.
I mean, you have a range.
Thank you.
So what did you bring to the character of Harvey Dent, and what choices did you make as a voice actor to sort of express the duality and to make this a character that we know but we've also never seen before because it's an Elseworld?
You know, it's always tough approaching iconic characters because I'm such a nerd from way back that whenever I get cast in a role and I know the character from that has a history, I have to sort of back off a little bit and try because I automatically get really nervous and worried. Like I feel like I'm carrying this huge responsibility, both to myself and to all the fans. And then I have to step back and say, okay, they're clearly looking. I'd be looking for one thing. The director and the producer and the project is going to be looking for something as well. And then I have to remember that they cast me. Because usually I approach it and I'm like, I'm not worthy, and I have to remember they cast me for a reason, and that I bring something naturally to it that they feel might work, and then we all sort of collaborate together, and it was the same way with this one. I had to not freak out, basically, and then we had to sort of talk about it a little bit and see what they were going for. It's fun as hell, especially for me. I have this sort of mental checklist of characters that I've gotten to play that I grew up with. That it was nice to add another notch in the belt, as it were.
Nice.
With this one, I was really excited because it is, like you say, it's an Elseworlds. I was familiar with the source material, but even with that knowledge, it's an adaptation. So even having known what I thought they might want, was not the same necessarily as what they did want. So yeah, it was a conversation, which it always is.
Was there any particular guidance they gave you for performing Dent?
Yeah, but a lot of it came from the writing itself. I mean, this Dent is not necessarily someone you'd look up to. It's not. I mean, he is a scumbag is a strong word to use, but he's not a role model. Whereas I think part of the beauty that is Dent in a lot of the more modern versions is that there's this part that people see and like, I like that guy, which makes the turn, the Two-Face turn, always something much more exciting because on one hand he's an upstanding fighting for justice kind of guy, and then there's Two-Face. So. This one leans a little more. This Dent. Well, you'll see. he's not your best friend.
What would you say is the hardest and easiest part about playing Dent and Peter Parker?
I wouldn't know about Peter Parker, but Dent. The hardest place was being sort of as unconscionable as he is, because I'm not that guy. It is why I do love playing villains. I think it is why a lot of actors love playing villains, because you get to do things you wouldn't normally do or tend towards in real life. And I'm a nice guy, and getting to play guys who aren't so nice are super fun. So that was both the hardest and the easiest part for me, because I enjoyed it greatly, but I am not used to being that kind of human being. You, sir, you gotta have a question.
So, what's it like playing it Harvey Dent but in a different adaptation than usual?
I love it. Like I said, I'm a big comic book nerd from way back. So I've seen Harvey Dent in a lot of different iterations, and I was also familiar with Gotham by Gaslight. So I'm a big fan of Victorian era storytelling and alternate Victorian timelines and steampunk stuff and all of that. And so it was really exciting for me to play a character that I knew really well, but in a completely different world and a different setting. So it was, it's fun. It was, you know, it's like getting to play Harvey Dent, but like in a Sherlock Holmes world, you know, or something like that. So it was fun. It was fun.
Now, because this is turn of the century, was there any language type stuff, you know, that where you had to change, like, you know, a slang or something like that from a more modernized version?
Well, luckily the writers, Jim, who's here today, hopefully you'll talk with him, did a lot of the heavy lifting in that part. His adaptation I thought was great, and I'm not afraid to say that I think he solved some of the problems that I felt were in the source material. And with adapting anything from a comic book to an animated thing or any sort of motion version at all is going to be, you're going to have challenges. So he had done the heavy lifting on that, but we did take care to make sure that my speaking wasn't too modern throughout. They always had a look at that.
So were you all in the same room and they would play off each other, or did you shoot separately?
We mostly I recorded separately. It was unfortunately I didn't get to record with any of the other cast because there are a lot of heavy hitters. Thank you guys. Hopefully I'll have time to come back.